Alright gamers, welcome back to the stream. This is my third episode of my second season of Minecraft Hardcore. Today I want to do a pretty important task. So first of all, in the last episode, I spent a bunch of time in the nether. So I went to both a bastion and a nether fortress, and oh my god, I spent a ridiculous amount of time in the nether fortress looking for wither skeleton skulls. I finally ended up getting them. And at the end of that episode, I ended up fighting the Wither. It was a very easy Wither fight, which kind of surprised me. But as a result of that, we did get a beacon, which is awesome. Super, super happy about that. Obviously, we're going to have to build that at some point. I did say I was going to do that this episode, but I'm going to get into why I'm not going to do that just yet. I also went to a bastion. I got really, really lucky with the one I found because I saw all three of the things that I wanted to find there. So first of all, I did end up finding the netherite upgrade template, which is huge. Super, super happy about that. Clearly, at some point, we'll have to do a mining stream so we can go ahead and upgrade the rest of our armor and stuff. We also got Soul Speed 3, which was the other really, really big thing I wanted to find in a bastion, which means that our boots are complete. The only incomplete piece of armor that we have is our diamond leggings, which is missing Swift Sneak 3. Clearly, we have to go to an ancient city to make that happen, and I'm not excited to go do that. I don't want to do it, but that'll come at a much, much later date. I don't think that's going to be something that we're going to do anytime soon. It's also not that critical of an enchant to have. Now, that being said, I did say at the end of the last episode that I was going to focus on making the beacon and, gathering resources to do that. But I've decided to pivot away from that. I realized that there is a critical item that we need for Minecraft Hardcore that, for whatever reason, I just wasn't thinking about. So I'm going to kind of swap the order in which we do episodes. So we will do that stream where I work on the beacon and stuff, but I think that's going to be the next episode. Today, we're going to go work on finding an Elytra, which means we need to go back to the end. I realized just how important it was to be able to travel, especially on a hardcore world like this, to be able to travel long distances within a reasonable amount of time and stuff. And, the Elytra is clearly the best item to do that with. We need to go out to the outer end islands, and in order to do that, we need to prep a few things. So, first of all, I spent some time off camera kind of prepping this journey just a little bit. So I spent some time making these rockets. I didn't have all that many pieces of sugarcane at the moment, so I was only able to go to a stack of them, but that's more than enough to get us back to the overworld for the time being. That does beg the question of how are we going to get more gunpowder for rockets, because I just used what I had in my mob jobs chest already, for the most part, and that means that we're going to need to build a farm and stuff. And I have an idea in mind for a gunpowder farm that I want to make, but I want to do that after we've constructed the beacon, because gathering materials, especially with a Haste 2 beacon, is way, way, way easier. So before we even remotely consider building the gunpowder farm, I will work on constructing the beacon. But that's just one of the two really big things that I need in order to go to the outer end islands. I also need a fuck ton of blocks, and then I'm gonna bring ender pearls too. I have several. I don't have all that many, but I'm probably not going to use them to travel across the end islands. What I'll probably end up using them for is, say I'm falling for some reason. It would be like a last-ditch effort to try and save myself. Obviously, with this being hardcore, I want to be as careful as I possibly can. And when you throw ender pearls, I run the risk, if I threw it at like a bad angle or something, and I hit the side of an end island instead of the surface of it, that would be a huge, like, unrecoverable problem. And, you know, that would be the end of the world right there. So I'm keeping them on me for emergency's sake, but I'm not actually going to use them to travel across the end islands. I'm going to do that mostly using bridges. Now, that being said, I do want this to be a quick journey. I'm hoping that we get lucky and the first end city that we find will have an end boat, but that's, you know, debatable. I'm honestly, you know, that's up to random chance. And I think I'm going to bring these last 2 swiftness potions I have, just so when I'm traveling across the end islands, it's a little bit easier, and it's a little faster. You know, I don't want to spend a giant amount of time in the end. This should go without saying, but when I spend time at the end cities, I'm also going to work on getting shulker boxes. You know, when I'm working on, like, big farms, like the gunpowder farm, or, like, structures like my my trading hall idea, or my barn, I want to make sure that I have all the resources that I have, like, on me. Like, I don't need to go back and forth over and over again. And clearly, shulker boxes are one of the best items you can have for transporting, like, mass quantities of items. Okay. I really don't want to do this, but I feel that I don't really have much of a choice. And, you know, the Elytra is just such a critical item that it's just something that I have to do. Ooh, okay, all right. I'm glad that this is 2 blocks tall, because I wasn't thinking about looking at them. I think I left that carved pumpkin from when I was here the last time in my ender chest. So if I really feel the need to, like, you know, be careful around Enderman, I do have that still. Like, keeping your Elytra around goes. Okay. Oh, fuck, I looked at 2 of them. God damn it. I'm extremely nervous about this, because if I go here, like, coming back is not going to be an easy task. And it gets a lot easier once I find an Elytra, but I gotta be really careful about how I do this. Okay. Holy crap. I don't see a return gateway. Oh, wait, okay, there's one right here. So I'm gonna type that in the chat, just so I remember where that is if I can't find another one. I'm honestly super, super nervous. I'm gonna have to mark my way back. I'm just hoping that we have a really easy time finding an end island today. And actually, while we're here, I might as well grab some of this chorus fruit and just, you know, just so I can grow it in the overworld. I think you actually have to use Silk Touch to mine these, if I'm not mistaken. It's just, I don't want to have to come back here if I don't have to, so spending some time actually mining this and bringing it home right now is probably a good choice. Now, the way I go about doing, like, end busting is I look for the biggest islands, and I walk for as long as I can on existing large islands. Like, I don't want to have to, like, go back and forth between some of these smaller platforms that you see floating around. You know, they're there if I really need to bridge to something. I'm just hoping we don't have to, like, be over the void for a crazy amount of time. So far, I haven't had to cross the void yet, though. That's what I'm most scared about. You know, I want to just walk as much as I possibly can. I really should probably turn my render distance up some, just on the chance that I see something. You know, there's already, like, let's go 40. I think my PC can handle that for the time being. On the chance that I see an end city, like, kind of unintentionally here, that's probably a good idea. I see another gateway over there. I don't think a gateway means that there's necessarily an end. Oh, there is an end city right there. I don't see a boat off the bat, but I mean, there could be one. So here's what I'm gonna do. It looks like if I walk around this way, I think I can actually get to that by walking for the most part. When I bridge, oh crap, I wasn't even thinking about food. I've only got 9 potatoes left. I've got plenty of pork chops, but oh no. That's not good. There's chorus fruit here, so if I have to, I just have to eat chorus fruit, like, in the center of an area. Okay, alright, first void bridge. I've got my pinky finger holding down shift like crazy now. That's, every time I build, in the end, my pinky finger is exhausted from, like, just holding it down so hard. You know, just trying to make sure that I don't, you know, perish. Especially now, more than ever, with this being a hardcore world. I need to be extremely careful about what I do. It looks like a really small one, and I don't necessarily see a boat with it, but I'm kind of not upset. I do want to spend a lot of time getting shulkers. So if this is a end city good for getting shulker boxes, fine by me. There might be some good end loot, though. I've been playing on another world with my friends. We just started every 6 months we do a Minecraft world. And one of my friends, wait! There's a second one over there, and that one's really tall. I don't see a boat yet, but that doesn't mean there isn't one from where we're standing. So that's where we're going next. Ooh! Oh, I forgot they do that. Okay. Holy crap. I've got feather falling, so it's okay for the most part. But I'm glad I had my shield on me, because I was not thinking about that at all. I hate how they teleport. Okay, there's our first shell. Let's see what we got in here. It's a really small one. I should probably take some of these blocks with me too, just for decorative purposes. Maybe I should have, you know, with this being as small as it is, you know, sometimes using the, you know, gravity pellets, or whatever their, like, primary name is, sometimes using those is, like, useful for getting up these. But this one's so small that I don't really think I need it. I only hear this guy. It doesn't look like there's any loot. It's the shittiest little end city I've ever been to. Huge city. But I don't necessarily see a boat. What's on the back of this tower? Is it just another piece of the tower? It looks like it. Shit. Well, I still don't have enough stuff to make even one shulker box, and there might actually be some okay loot in here. So I do think that we're gonna stop here for now. Already put down my ender chest. I need to make as much room as I can. So I'm gonna take out my crafting table, and I'm gonna make a bunch of chests with the wood that I've got, and then turn those into shulker boxes. And I think all of the end loot that I get, that's where those are gonna go for the time being. You know, I really don't have a whole lot of inventory space at the moment, but yeah. Okay. End loot's gonna go in that shulker for now. And then let me take my crafting table just so I still have it. Okay. I'm gonna let them hit me, just so I can get up this a little bit easier. Okay, he didn't drop anything. Shit, where'd he go? As long as I have food, I can let them basically hit me as much as I want, but... That one died. Jesus, there's so many in here. Let me get up to this level, and then I can take a second and evaluate. I'm gonna have to shoot them a lot. He dropped one. Okay. Right. Iron, some beetroot seeds. I actually don't think we have beetroot back on the regular world thus far. Some nice tools. I'll take that. Put down the shulker again and start unloading crap. Right. Guy on the side there. Okay, there's another chest and another ender chest here, so I'm gonna take that second ender chest just in case. Okay. There's a Fortune 3 pick in there, that's pretty cool. Probably spent enough time at this one, because likely the next one I find will also have a lot. That's the direction I came from. There's the small end city there, so I should really go this way, which is north. You know, none of this end loot really does anything specific for me. You know, the only unique loot I can't get at, you know, somewhere else is from another area. Or, like, I can only get new stuff that I haven't seen before from the end city boats. So it has to be, I have to find one with that. Well, even at max render distance, I'm not seeing another city. Okay, there's one back there. Hopefully there's a boat. There's a boat! There's definitely a boat at that one. Okay, that's huge. Yeah, so I think we're gonna bridge right over here. I think that's probably the better place to do it. Okay. Now, I don't know if I'm gonna elect to spend a lot of time here. You know, I have several shulkers now, and there's some shells in one of them. Maybe what I'll do is, when I get there, I will clear this one entirely of all shulkers. And that, I mean, I don't feel like I need that many shulkers, but you know, they're so useful, and coming back here is always such a big hassle. I don't see a gateway back just yet. I'm trying to keep my eyes out for another gateway, because yes, I can fly back to the one that I know where it is, worst case scenario, but if I can find a real quick convenient one, that would be a lot better. We are here. Hell yeah. This one's smaller than the other one too. And I definitely, you know, worst case scenario, if I ever need more shulkers, the really big end city, you know, we know where that is, and I definitely did not clear that all the way, like anywhere close to all the way. Right. There's one more shell. See, I think what I'll probably do is I'll let one of those carry me over to the boat. Yeah. Because they're also going to be shooting at me the entire time, pretty much. Is this a loot room? It is. Let me pull out my pork chops. I would rather eat the regular food while I'm in here so I don't teleport somewhere unexpected. Okay, there's some diamonds. Cool. We actually need a ton more diamonds right now. Yeah, it's right off this dock right here. So I probably will ender pearl to this and pull out my shield. All right. Okay. Holy shit. All right. Get in the boat. Holy fuck, dude. Oh, there it is. The Elytra. Holy crap. Oh my god. That's the first time I mean, every time I do something new in this world on this stream, it's the first time I've done it on hardcore Minecraft. Like, this is truthfully insane. And I've gotten Elytra now. Now, if I wear that, the one thing about it is I'm much more unprotected. You know, I don't, you know, my chest plate does a lot as far as, keeping me safe goes from the shulkers. Like, they do a lot more damage, especially without that. I've made that mistake before. There's definitely one more shulker that I have to worry about somewhere, at least. I want to get the dragon head at the front. I just don't want them to hit me while I'm out there, because that would be a problem. I think I'm out of the way now. So, yeah. And there's our dragon head as well. Oh, my inventory's full. Crap. Put down a shulker box. Oh, I can't tell what's what right now. Okay, put that in there, put that in there. Chorus fruit. We are actually done, basically. So, pick this up. I'm gonna put my elytra on. Feel a lot safer already. I've got rockets ready to go. I've got a little bit of food left over, which is good. So, what I'm gonna do now is I'm gonna glide back over there. I'm gonna kill most of the remaining shulkers because, you know, we got a bunch of them, but realistically not all that many. Holy crap. That's awesome. Well, I've got 7 there. How many did I have in the one that's basically full? Oh, I guess I only had the one. Wait, no, that's not the same one. Wait, which one is the one that's full? Okay. There's 7 in here, so that's another 7 shulker boxes. I think I'm fine with that. I've got 5 in my inventory. I think I'm fine with that for now. And worst case scenario, we can just come back. I've got, you know, the elytra now, so it's gonna be way easier. Okay, I see my trail is out here. Holy crap, man. I'm so glad that wasn't worse. Is that another one? Hold on. Is that a second boat? It is! Okay. I normally wouldn't do this. We have 61 rockets, though. So, we are actually going to go get that second elytra. And the main reason... Well, there's 2. When it comes to... I just don't want to ever lose this elytra. So if there's a 3rd one! Oh my god! Wait, this is awesome! Okay, I would love to find a gateway out here, too. Oh, they have no idea what's coming. Wow! That gets so much easier once you have, like, all the stuff. Oh my god. Oh, I got a new armor trim, too. I wasn't even thinking about that. More diamond horse armor? Oh my god, we're fucking loaded right now. Okay, so that is a new boat right there. So I just came from that. Yeah, okay, I see the boat there. There's another one over there. I really shouldn't be risking this more than I am right now. So I think it is time to go find a gateway and go back home. I don't necessarily see one. I have to go all the way back to the second fortress I found. I've got 57 rockets. So that should be more than enough to make that happen. But I just don't want to do that. It's so far away. Successful overall. It took us 1 hour and 2 minutes to do, which is actually, I was expecting it would take us longer, but gliding also, like, without powering your flight takes you so far. Okay, so this is where I just got the elytra. So if I follow my path, my well-marked path back, I should be able to get to the last gateway I saw pretty easy. Wasn't right next to the second end city, but it was close to it. I think it was on like an adjacent island. So I could have sworn I saw a gateway around this one. Got 50 rockets left. So worst case scenario, I can go all the way back to the very beginning. But I could have sworn that I saw a gateway around this one somewhere. Oh, yeah, right there. Cool. I've got trapdoors, although I guess I don't really need it. I can probably just fly right into it. Okay. All right, we are back at the home end island, which means I can just go straight on home, not have to worry about anything. Holy crap, guys. Yeah, see, elytras, they just break so fast. So, the goal, you know, I'm gonna buy a, mending book. I'm gonna buy an unbreaking book, and I'll probably just do that off camera because, you know, that's something you guys have seen a million times by this point. But yeah, so with that one, out of the way, I will see you guys in the next one.